Shalom. So I decided at the beginning of this um, video to introduce you to two new websites I found, which I think um, they're incredibly useful, which is why I am actually going to try to show how I think they may be wrong. Now, let's be clear here. These are people who are studying the Bible for very closely, who study Hebrew very closely, who study languages very closely. I don't want to say that they're making, you know, clear stupid mistakes. They're not. I'm just giving you my little understanding that, look, you have to remember these are people who are trying to understand the Bible. They're trying very hard to understand the Bible, and they're working so hard on it. It's possible that maybe they're reading a little bit too much into it. So the first website, this is Unfolding Word Hebrew Grammar, and they have all of the various morphological terms here that we've been seeing on Bible Hub. And so I like that in many ways. I think it would. I especially like here they have all these stems, and actually the stems, these are they include some what people call what they call rare stems, which I guess linguists call rare biblical stems, which I'm not so sure about. So this is the first website. I mean, you can find all of these on Google, but this is readthedocs.io, I guess, that this is on. The other website, and I really like this website because of its constructor, actually. It also has a dictionary, but the website's name is Pe'alim. And what I wanted to show you was, okay, so they have, this website has a stem hishtafel, right? Which they say is the form of hishtachavu, right? Which they claim is the root of is how so mishtachave, to bow down, to prostrate yourself, to pray. Okay, so that's a root. So they're saying this is a whole binyan by itself of a verb that has the root either het vav yud or het vav hey. Okay, maybe, could be. I'm not gonna. These websites are made by people who have PhDs in Hebrew linguistics. These are people who care very much and have spent a very long time studying this, and this is how they understand the Word of God. And honestly, I would never denigrate that. I really wouldn't. I don't think that's right to denigrate it. But at the same time, I think the vast majority of people who know Hebrew simply see the verb hishtachaveh and they think, oh, well, if we say that the root is shin het vav, and this is in the hitpa'el, so this constructor, what I really love about it is you can create a root, and you can ask it to go ahead and make conjugate it for you, and it'll go ahead and conjugate that verb. And obviously, so one thing I will tell you not to do is try to speak modern Hebrew by taking roots and putting them in forms and so when I was in Israel, I I because I mean this is how the Hebrew I know. So I know roots, I know forms, and so I would start speaking and I would put the roots I know into the whatchamacallits I know, into the binyanim, into the constructions I know, and I would try speaking that way. And the only person who understood me was my cousin, who's an archaeologist, because as an archaeologist, she studied all this stuff. So she understood what I was doing and what was going on. So I mean, don't expect people who speak modern Hebrew to understand you when you do that. But if you're trying to figure out what something means in the original Hebrew in the Bible, what you can do is you can use this constructor they have and see if that 3 or 2 letter root, and so I would look. I mean, if you're really interested in this stuff, I would actually look at some of these. So there's a stem they have here, pilpel. That is a real stem that's rare that people don't think about, or stem pe'alel, right, or palal. I would, or pilal. I would look at these polel, right. I would look at these and consider what they're telling you, but at the same time, if you say that the root is shin het vav, which is a root which does mean to bow, and you just put it in the hitpalel form, right? Hitpael, sorry, not hitpalel, hitpael form. You end up with words that look a lot like the paradigm here, right? And possibly, the similarity might be that, I mean, I'm not going to say that it's not possible that there's a verb chet vav yud and a form hishtafel, which is almost exclusively used with that verb chet vav yud, but it's also possible, and I think it's something that even the people who made this have considered, is that maybe what we have is a root shin chet vav, which is a very strange conjugation, because you have a guttural het in the middle, and vav is not exactly a strong root, and maybe that in the conjugation, in that conjugation of hitpael, the differences that we see are just things that they sounded right to people, right? They sounded right to people, and words that are used commonly will drift, right? Language does drift over the years, right? And I sometimes wonder if we shouldn't be a little bit more careful about possibly over interpreting things. Ultimately, I think this exercise, and I hope people agree with me, this exercise is between us and God, right? And if you're not just an academic, if you're not, certainly if you're not a secular academic, and you're trying to connect with God through your study of the Bible, then I think it becomes even more important not to get lost too much in this, while at the same time, yes, the details are incredibly important, because we take God very seriously, and we want to take God very seriously in our lives, and we want to take God's word very seriously in our lives. And if God decided that things should be a little bit different, and as far as what is the correct version of the Bible, I am very, very, um, I I understand the idea of the textus receptus, the idea that, you know what, we this is the Bible that we have, and even if it's changed over the years, if somebody made a mistake over the years, ultimately God put us in the place where we are with the Bible where we are, and we should spend most of our times trying to understand what God is telling us, and to do as God recommends for us. So with that, feel free to play around with this website. I really love this constructor because it allows you to go ahead and try to figure out what the root is, the three-letter root is, and it'll go ahead and it'll conjugate it in the various binyanim, and it has all these cool um, little things that you can do to try to make sure. But like I've said before, and I think the most important thing is whenever you're trying to understand a Hebrew root, my first goal is to know what is the three-letter root, what is the radical, and possibly what is the two-letter radical. And I think if you look at the so the okay, let's look at the stem hitpalpel, right? And hitkalkel shows up a lot in the Bible. It shows up, right? Or here they have it yitmatmer or yishtat sha, right? So this is a form that shows up several times in many different ways, which is it is a repetition of two roots, right? It's so instead of a pal, it doesn't have an ayin. It only has a pe and a lamed of the root. Okay. So how exactly this comes down, whether we're talking about two-letter roots, three-letter roots, three radicals, two radicals, right? Right. You can. You have to make these decisions for yourself. You have to make these decisions regarding your personal relationship with God and the Word of God. And honestly, I don't think two people can have even if you're using just the same. Some people use the King James version only. No, thank you. Some people only use the some people use the King James version only, and they get too many. I think people are too mean towards KJV only people. I, I think there is some degree of validity to a person saying, you know what, I only know English. This is the Bible that I know. This is what God has given me, and I'm going to try to understand it, and I'm going to have my relationship with God through this Bible that I have received, which oftentimes is a Bible that was a gift either from their parents or from someone important to them, or it was a gift that became important over the years to them. And two different people reading the King James version will come to different understandings because the words just resonate with them differently. And if anything, I want to express how important it is for us as people who believe in God and who love the image of God which he has put into other people, to respect other people's relationships with God being a personal one. I mean, I cannot I cannot overstate how important I think this is. So with that, with these new websites, which I hope will help you in your understanding of God, I actually think I'm gonna probably be using this website more than I have been, and I really love this constructor. I think it might be really a it allows you to test your understanding. And with their dictionary, you can actually try to find out if the root you are identifying exists already, and if it's used in different places. And hopefully this will work out for you. So let's start in on Genesis 9:1. ויברך אלוהים את נוח ואת בניו ויאמר להם pru urvu umil'u et haaretz. And you'll notice this is it is hearkening back to God blessing Adam and Eve and telling them to pru, be fruitful, multiply, and fill all of the earth, right? So again, we have the same form. Start with the conjunctive vav. The yud is telling you it's an imperfect. The root is obviously bet resh chaf, which is to bless, or it's also linked with the word ni. Shem Elokut. Et is the direct object marker. Noach is his name. Conjunctive vav again, and the direct object marker. Banav, right? His sons. Ben is son. Banim is sons. It's in the plural. Banav, the vav at the end is the third person masculine singular. His sons, right? Vayomer. So again, conjunctive vav, the yud telling you it's an imperfect. The root is aleph mem resh amar, to say. Lahem, so that is the prepositional lamed with the root telling us third person masculine plural, to them. Pru, right? And this is in the imperative. It's in the command form of probably I would say the root is pei, resh, and then either hey or yud, to be fruitful, and the vav at the end is telling us that it's masculine plural, pru, so be fruitful, urvu, right, and rav again is great, multiple, many, right, so conjunctive vav. And again, the imperative form, the command form, to be and multiply, masculine plural, right? U mil'u. So again, verb. We have the conjunctive vav. The root is mem lamed hey, to fill, right? So mil'u. And the vav at the end, again, masculine plural, and fill, right? Et is the direct object marker. Article hey, aretz is the land, right? And let us go and look at the King James Version. And God blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth, right? So, and mil'u they're translating as replenish. NIV. Then God blessed Noah and his sons, saying, so they're translating the conjunctive verb as a then, saying to them, be fruitful and increase in number and fill the earth. That is a more literal translation. Let's see what Chabad does with it. And God blessed Noah and his sons, and he said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. Right? Pretty standard stuff. 9:2. Umorachem vechitchem yihye al kol chayat haaretz ve'al kol of hashamayim bechol asher tirmos, ha'adama ubechol degei hayam beyedchem natanu. Okay, so conjunctive vav. So the root here, I would say, is yud resh aleph, to fear or awe, right? So morah is awe, right? Morachem. So the chaf and the mem at the end is the second person masculine plural. So your yira, I would say your awe, right? Vechitchem. So conjunctive vav, and chit is it's they're translating as dread. It's actually a rather rare form of right, 5 occurrences, terror, right? And you can look it up. Yeah, you can look it up. It only shows up in the Bible 5 times, so you can see how you want to translate that. V'chitchem yihyeh, right? So this is the yud is telling it's an imperfect, and this is the root to be, right? So it's in the incomplete, shall be, right? Al, this is the preposition with the ayin, not the aleph. Kol, meaning every. Hayat, so here chaya is in the construct form with aretz, right? So it's chaya, but the hey turns into a taf because it's in the construct form. Haaretz, so the article goes on the last noun in the construction. Smichut, right, is the construct form. Haaretz, of the land. So chayat haaretz are beasts of the land, right? Ve'al, so conjunctive vav, and the preposition al with the ayin again. Kol, meaning all. Of is a bird, and this is written b'milui. It's written completely with a vav, as it usually is. Hat shamayim, and it's in the construct form with skies, right? Shamayim is in masculine plural, and with the article, so birds of the sky, right? The heavens. Bechol, so this preposition without the article, because the underneath is a shava, not a kamatz or a patach. And by the way, that backwards e is in English called a shva because it corresponds with the sound of the Hebrew shva, right? So bechol, prepositional bet without the article chol, meaning all. Asher, they call it pronoun relative. Tirmos, right? So we've had remes before, the root resh mem sin, which I've translated as creep, right? We've had remes many times before so far. Tirmos is in the feminine imperfect, feminine singular imperfect. So I guess maybe it's going on chaya, or it may be, yeah, I think it's going on chaya, because of is masculine. So probably going on chaya, animal. I usually translate chaya as animal. It's tirmos ha'adama, anything that shall move on the land, right? Uh, and yeah, tirmos ha kol asher tirmos ha'adama. I'm not sure I would translate that as on the earth, maybe. Um, Creeps. I would, yeah, that's how they did it. I'm not sure I would do it. The hay is obviously the article, and the Adama is, I translate as clay, um, to keep it separate from Aretz, right? Although it's usually translated as earth. U vechol, so conjunctive of preposition without an article, whole meaning all. Digay, so dag is a fish, right? And that shows up several times in the Bible. So Dalet Gimel is a fish, and even large fish, right? Whales, I believe the whale in Jonah is actually called a dag. So I know in English when we speak about a fish, we're usually talking about a small fish, but this includes large fish. Dagim would be the plural. Digay is the masculine plural in the construct form. Digay hayam. So the fishes of the sea, right? That is the article, and yam is sea, right? Be yedchem. So prepositional bet, yad is hand or arm, right? Yedchem is second person masculine plural, your hands. Nitanu. Okay, so the root I would say here is probably tough nun hey, and this is in the nif'al form. That nun at the beginning is actually part of the, it's not the part of the root, it's part of the construction. Okay? Making it in the, putting it in the passive form. Nitanu, have been given, right? Nitanu. So all of these things have been given in the passive, and it's not telling you who gave it, obviously. It is the Lord who has given us everything that he has. So let's look at the King James verse 2. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand they are delivered. I'm not a huge fan. Let's look at the NIV. The fear and dread of you will fall. Fall. I don't know where they got the fall from. On all the beasts of the earth. Let's look at the Hebrew one more time. Yihyeh shall be, and they're saying will fall. I'm not a huge fan of that. And on all the birds of in the sky. Okay, I would be probably translating in the heavens, but okay. On every creature that moves along the ground. Okay. And on all the fish in the sea. I would have probably done fishes the way King James does. They are given into your hands. Yeah, I prefer given to delivered. Let's see what Chabad does with that. And your fear and your dread shall be upon all the beasts of the earth, and upon all the fowl of the heaven, upon everything that creeps upon the ground, and upon all the fish of the sea, for they have been given into your hands. Yeah, that's the one I prefer. Rashi here explains the word chet, right? Chitchem, where that comes from, and he's saying that it is related to as we find the verb that root in Job. Job 6:21, and it's also in the Agada Agada from the Talmud Shabbat 151b. Okay, let's go on to verse 3. Kol remes asher hu chai lachem yihye leochla keyerek esev natati lachem et kol. Okay, so this is where we suddenly move from being vegetarians into being omnivores, right? So kol, every remes, right? We've had this root many times. Resh mem, sin to creep. Asher, the pronoun relative they call who, and so here the pronoun third person masculine singular is being used as the present form of the verb to be in Hebrew. That's done sometimes. Chai. So the root here. I mean, obviously it's life. Yeah, right. I think the three-letter root is actually het yud hey, but so asher hu chai, which is alive. Yeah, I would say which asher hu chai, which is, I would say the root is actually the hu here. I mean the verb is the hu here, not chai. Chai is a noun here. Lachem, so prepositional lamed and the chaf and the mem, second person masculine plural. Lachem yihyeh, it shall be. So the yud is telling you it's an imperfect, and this is the verb to be, shall be for you. Le'ochla, prepositional lamed, and ochla we've had before. King James seems to translate it as meat. The root is obviously aleph chaf lamed. Keyerek, right? So the prepositional chaf, they're translating as just as, and yerek, the root is the word green. Yarok means green. So yud resh kof, right? But so it's often translated as vegetables. Yerek, they're translating as green. Esev, and I would say this is in the, I would say Keyerek Esev, right? I would say this is one construction. They're not identifying as a construct, but possibly Yerek Esev here is a construct of two nouns, vegetables, and Esev, Ein Sin Bet, usually translated as herbs. I don't know if we've had this before. You can use your concordance. Keyerek Esev. So they're saying green herbs, but I would actually say this may be construct like you can translate it however you want. It seems to me that this may be a construction of two nouns, yerek and esev. Natati, right? I gave. Right? We had natna before. This is the call of the call perfect, the simplest. The yud at the end is telling you it's in the first person singular, and the root I would say is nun taf hey, but that's a very common one. Lachem, prepositional lamed, chaf mem is the second person masculine plural. Et is the direct object marker. Kol meaning everything, right? I natati lachem et kol. I gave you. I have given you everything. Okay. So this is root 3. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb. Have I given you all things? Okay. NIV, everything that lives and moves about will be food for you, just as I gave you the green plants, I now give you everything. Okay? And Chabad, every moving thing that lives shall be yours to eat like the green vegetation. I have given you everything. Okay? And Rashi is just telling us that before the fall, men were all vegetarians, which is actually where I believe most rabbis believe we will eventually return to being vegetarians, but olam haba, when Mashiach comes. Okay, let's go on to the next verse. Ach basar benafsho damo lo tochelu. So ach is a word that's used to limit, right? They're translating here as but. So every time ach shows up, it's limiting what's going on, right? Ach basar, yet, but basar we've had before, flesh, right? Ben nafsho, so prepositional bet. Nefesh is one of the ways we say life or spirit, right? Nefesh, nun pe shin, nafsho, which is in its life, right? So the vav at the end is a third person masculine singular, ben nafsho. Ach basar ben nafsho, damo, so nafsho damo, I guess you could say that these two are in construct together, although this is not a very normal way of creating a smichut. I think they are teaching you something together, but I wouldn't call this a smichut. I would not call this, that the two nouns are trying to, because they are both being conjugated with that vav at the end, telling you its blood, its life, its blood. Benafsho damo lo tochelu. Dam, obviously meaning blood. Dalad mem, the vav, its blood, right? Third person masculine singular. Lo is not. Tochelu, the root here is aleph chaf lamed, to eat, to consume. That tough is, it's the imperfect. So I would have expected a yud here, right? Tochelu, they're saying second person masculine plural. I actually wonder if this may not be second person feminine plural, right? Or you could actually translate this that it may actually not be in the call. If you're going to say that this is not in the call, tochelu, yeah, I'd say don't eat. It's in the imperfect. Yeah. So this is the type of place where you can actually look at the constructor and use it with the root, right? So let's do that. Aleph, Chaf, Lamed, and so they're telling us it's in the Kal, right? So let's go ahead and see the inflections of, so tochelu, right? Te'echlu, right? What it looks like, yeah, techlu is in the masculine. Yeah, it is in the masculine, right? So I was actually thinking, ye'echlu. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is in the masculine. So see, this is how you use a verb like this, right? This is how we are able to construct things and understand them, right? And they have this. I really like this website. I think I'm going to actually be using this website a lot more, possibly. Um, I really like it. The fact that you can put in whatever verb you want to, and it has all the binyanim, and it will go ahead and conjugate it for you, and show you the various tenses. Yeah, I like this website. I really do. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at verse 4 in the King James Version. But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat. Okay? NIV, but you must not eat meat that has its lifeblood still in it. Okay? So they're translating lifeblood, nafsho damo, right? Nafsho damo, basar ben nafsho, flesh in its nefesh and its life, right? So Chabad translated, but flesh with its soul, right? They use the word soul for nefesh. Its blood you shall not eat. And I am going to read this Rashi because I think it's really important. We spoke about the Noachide laws, right? The 7 Noachide laws, one of them being the prohibition of Ever Min HaChai, which is how we say a limb cut off from an animal that has not yet died. It is the category which in Judaism prohibits people who are not Jewish yet from. I didn't mean yet as in that's going to be so misunderstood. People who are not Jewish and not that you need to become Jewish. I love how people misunderstand things and trying to speak that carefully. People who are not Jewish in Judaism can be good people if they follow the 7 Noachide laws, one of which is Ever Min HaChai, which is not to eat living animals, right? So this is what Rashi says, Basar ben nafsho, right? Flesh with its soul. He prohibited them to eat a limb cut off from a living creature. As long as its soul is in it, you shall not eat the flesh, right? And so, the Sanhedrin talks about exactly how that is done. Ben nafsho damo, right? As long as, so Rashi is saying as long as. This refers to a limb of a living creature, and also its blood you shall not eat. This refers to blood of a living creature. Okay? And all of this comes from the Talmud in Sanhedrin. Okay, next verse 5. V'ach et dimchem lenafshotechem edrosh miyad kol chaya edreshenu umiyad ha'adam miyad ish achiv edrosh et nefesh ha'adam. Very interesting. So, okay, let's read this and then we'll look at the translations because this is actually not such a straightforward verse, I would say. So, conjunctive vav, we said before, they're translating as surely. It's a language of limitation, right? Et is the direct object marker. Dimchem, right? So dalad mem dam is blood. Dimchem, your blood, right? Second person masculine plural with the chaf mem at the end. Lenafshotechem. Okay, so let's see what we can do. The lamed is the prepositional lamed. Nefesh is the soul, which we had in the previous root, right? And nun pe shin. This is nafshot is written bechisaron. It's written without a vav, which I would have expected that vav there, but it's not there. So this is a noun written bechisaron, written lackingly without the vav. Nafshotechem. So that yud is right. Nafshotechem. Yeah. So your both lives or souls, they're translating it as saw, and the you is in plural, right? Both is in plural. Ed rosh. So the root here is daled resh shin, which means to require, they're saying, or right. We say midrash, right? The midrash is the what how you expound upon the Bible to kind of they're saying accounting. So edrosh, the aleph there is the first person common singular. They're putting the first person singular, right? In the imperfect. And the root is daled resh shin, to require, to expound, to ask about. Darash, right? Mi yad, so that is the prepositional mem. Yad, hand or arm, we've had before. Yad daled. Kol, so yad kol, the hand of every, right? It's in the construct form. Kol meaning every. Chaya, translated as beast. I usually do animal myself. Edreshenu. Okay, so again, edrosh, right? The aleph is first person singular of the imperfect of the root. Shin resh dalet. Shin resh. Dalet resh shin. Right, that's the root. Edreshenu, third person masculine singular. Yeah, I will require it. Edreshenu. Maybe, yes, maybe. We'll look at the translations. I'm a little, yeah, that suffix there may be, that suffix is giving me pause. We'll look at what the translations say. U miyad, so conjunctive vav, prepositional mem, yad meaning hand. We've had many times before. Ha adam, so yad is in the construct form with adam, which is one way of saying man, right? That's the article, obviously. Mi yad ish, so prepositional mem, yad is again hand, from the hand. Yad ish, so we had miyad ha'adam and miyad ish. Ish is obviously man. It's a different word for man. Ish achiv, and they're saying ish is in the construct form. Miyad ish achiv. They seem to be saying that this is all one big construct. I don't think that's true. Miyad ish achiv. Maybe ach means brother, right? Achiv means his brother. Ish achiv edrosh. I will require, right? We had edrosh in the same sentence before, right? Previously. Et is the direct object marker. Nefesh ha'adam. So nefesh is the word for soul or life we just used. It's in the construct form with adam, with a hey. This is a interesting verse. Let's look at the translations. Verse 9. And surely, so they're translating ach as surely. Your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it. And at the hand of man. At the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. Right? And what exactly that means, I think the next verses explain, right? But this really, I mean, maybe the NIV is actually doing a much better job here. And for your life, I will surely demand an accounting. I will demand an accounting from every animal, and from each human being too. I will demand an accounting for the life of another human being. So this is not nearly as literal of a translation, but I think it might be a better translation. It's figuratively, I think it's better to understand, better in understanding what's going on. Let's look at the Chabad. Let's see. But your blood, so yeah, see, va'ach et dimchem, right? But your blood of your souls, I will demand an account. From the hand of every beast I will demand it, and from the hand of man, from the hand of each man his brother, I will demand the soul of man. Interesting. So they're saying account is let's look at the Rashis here. I'm interested. These are long Rashis. These are very long Rashis, and I think you might want to look at them inside. Okay, let's do the Rashis here. But your blood, right? Ve'ach et demchem. Even though I permitted you to take the life of animals, your blood I will demand of one who sheds his own blood, who commits suicide, right? So ve'ach dimchem, right? But your own life, right? You can kill animals, you can't kill yourself, and your soul of your souls, also one who strangles himself, even though no blood issued from him. Okay, so that he's translating nafshotechem. Why dimchem lenafshotechem? Right? Why your blood, your life? Because even if you kill yourself without bloodshed, from the hand of every beast, miad kol chaya, since the generation of the flood had sinned, and they were abandoned as prey for the wild beasts, which would have power over them, as it is said in Psalm 49:13 and 21, he is compared to the silenced animals. All right, nimshal ke behemot nidmu, right? Therefore, it was necessary to warn the beasts about them, not to kill them. Okay. So, okay. And from the hand of man, from the hand of one who kills intentionally without witnesses, I will demand his life, right? So God, if there's no justice, earthly justice, God will still edrosh, right? God is saying, I will do it, right? And apparently this comes from the Targum Yonatan of the next verse. From the hand of each man his brother. From the hand of the one who loves him like a brother and killed him unintentionally, right? So miyad ha'adam and miyad ish achiv, right? So why is it saying it in two different ways? Men, the first one is if he does it and he doesn't view him as a brother, or even if he does, right? I will demand punishment if he does not go into exile nor beg that his iniquity be forgiven, for even the inadvertent sinner requires atonement. If there are no witnesses to sentence him to exile, and he does not humble himself, the Holy One, blessed be he, will demand it of him. Our rabbis expounded, right, the verse Exodus 21:13, and God placed him into your hand. Right, let me see. הוא אינו נכנע הקדוש ברוך הוא כמו שדרשו רז"ל והאלוקים ענה לידו. Right, and this is all from the tractate Makot. This is from the Talmud Bavli, page 10b. He causes them. This is an explanation there. Okay, so I mean, you can look at further if you like. This is obviously a verse which has been expounded upon greatly in the Talmud, because it's not as clear. I see, this is one of those verses I think you just have to try to understand in the Hebrew. I don't think it translates very well to the English. I don't think it translates well to the English at all. Okay. שופך דם האדם באדם דמו ישפך כי בצלם אלוהים עשה את האדם. Right? So שופך, the root here is shin pei chet. No, shin pei chaf, not chet. Shofech means to spill, right? And that you can use your concordance. It shows up a lot. Shofech is someone who spills. It's in the present tense. Shofech dam ha'adam, right? The blood of man, and this is in the construct form, right? That's the article, and Adam is man. Ba-Adam. So there is a simple meaning of this verse, and then I think we're going to also talk about how this is also expounded upon by expanded upon by the rabbis. Dam ha'adam ba'adam, damo yishafech, ki betzelem elokim asa et hadam. Right? So, okay, let's understand the words individually, and then we'll try to understand it more completely. Dam ha'adam ba'adam. So that's the prepositional bet with the article. Ba'adam, within man, right? Damo yishafech. So dam meaning blood, the vav is in third person masculine singular. Yishafech, so it's the same root, shin pe chaf, but it is the nifal in the imperfect, right? That yud is in the imperfect, and this is the nifal. This is shall be shed, right? So ba'adam damo yishafech. So the simple translation is, by man his blood shall be spilled. Yishafech shall be, it's in the nifal, it's in the passive, right? Yishafech, which is a little strange, which is why the rabbis are gonna explain it a little bit differently. Ki, so ki I usually translate as because. Here they have, it's the conjunction, they say for. Bet tselem, right? So prepositional bet. Tselem we've had before. It's tzadek lamed mem, image, right? Tselem elokim, right? We're referring to God. Tselem elokim is in the construct. Tselem is in the construct with elokim, with God, right? The image of God, imago Dei. In Latin, asa et ha'adam. Betzelem, so Betzelem Elokim asa et ha'adam. So you can translate this two different ways. If you're saying that it is in the construct, which I can agree with, right? Asa et ha'adam. God made man in the image of God, or you can translate this as Betzelem Elokim asa et Adam, right? God made man in the image, right? And it doesn't in an image. If that was so, you can say that Elohim here can be the subject, right, of um, the person who's doing, right, asa Elohim asa, or you can say that who did it is being implied, right? The root here is ayin sin hey, to make, to create, asa et ha adam, direct object marker, and the article hey adam, right? So let's again. So these are verses which are greatly expounded upon within the Talmud to explain the rules of murder, both for Jews and Gentiles, because obviously these are commandments which are being given to Noah. And like I mentioned before, since all human beings after the flood are descendants of Noah, we are all commanded those commandments which have been given to Noah and his children, right? So these are commandments which apply to Jews and Gentiles equally, possibly similarly. So let's go ahead and look at verse 6. Whoso sheddeth man's blood by man shall his blood be shed, for in the image of God made he man. And they are, well, first of all, that he should be, I think, it should be capitalized, but they're inferring that he, right? They're saying we're talking about the image of God, and they're inferring the he. Let's see what NIV does it. Whoever sheds human blood, by humans shall their blood be shed. For in the image of God has God made man. And so they're using the word God twice, right? You see that? I said you could use the word God either as image of God, or you could use it as God made mankind. They're saying, well, it's being parsimonious. It's using that one word God twice. Let's see what Chabad does with verse 6. Whoever sheds the blood of man through man shall his blood be shed, for in the image of God he made man. So Rashi, the second Rashi, I'm not going to read this first Rashi. The second Rashi says, right, this is an elliptical verse, okay? It should read, the maker, right, Habore, made man. And there are many such instances in scripture where things are written parsimoniously, are written without using putting all the words there. There are a few, right? That he isn't actually there, right? And Chabad did it correctly. They capitalized the he. And in the NIV, when they do this this type of verse that seems like looks more poetic, I think that they do that when they're trying to indicate that the Hebrew words seem to go together in a singing or in a poetic manner, right? The words sound alike in the Hebrew. The one thing I want to make clear, shofech dam ha'adam ba'adam damo yishafech. Actually, this is understood by the Talmud to be a prohibition on abortion, So, shofech dam ha'adam ba'adam, right? You could read that as opposed to reading it, whoever sheds the blood of man through man shall his blood be shed. You could read it as whoever sheds the blood of man within man, his blood shall be shed. Okay? So, because yishafech is in the passive, we said, right? So when you have a passive sentence, you don't necessarily say who is doing it, right? So if you're gonna say that it's in the passive form, then shofech dam ha'adam ba'adam, right? Someone who kills a human within a human, right? Adam ba'adam, damo yishafech. That person shall also be guilty of murder. And I mean, if you want to understand this clearly, the Talmud, I believe this is from the Talmud in Sanhedrin, discusses it. Obviously, in Judaism, we do not equate potential life with life itself. We don't think of abortion as the same as normal murder, right? It's not the same because if the mother's life is in danger in Judaism, we are very clear that the mother being a full life, right? Somebody who has breathed, who has this breath, the soul of life within them, is a full human, has a full right to life that comes before the life of the fetus, of the child that has yet been born, that has not come into being yet. But obviously, it's important, and this is an issue which is very important to us today, to understand that God loves potential life, and possibly the most important commandments God gives us at all in Deuteronomy 30. Ubahartem b'chaim, you shall choose life, which is very, very important. Okay, I just thought I should point that out because obviously this is something that's incumbent upon all people, and hopefully everyone will be able to keep the commandments that God has given them. Okay, let's keep on going. Verse 7. Ve'atem pru urvu shirtzu ba'aretz urvu ba. Very interesting. Okay, so conjunctive vav. Atem is you, second person masculine plural, right? It's the pronoun you. Pru, right? So we had that before to be fruitful. Pru uruvu, and so conjunctive vav. Revu we just had in the first verse, and multiply. But this time it's not saying mil'u, it's not saying fill the earth. It says shirtzu ba'aretz. So sheretz, right? Shin resh tzadik is I've been translating as swarm, right? We had the shratzim, we had the swarming creatures. So shirtzu is that root, shin resh tzadik, in the imperfect, in the command kind of imperative, yeah, in the imperative form. So it is a command to swarm. Shirtzu ba'aretz. So the prepositional bet here has the article, aretz being land. You shall swarm in the land, ba'aretz, urevu va. So, and conjunctive vav, and it's repeating the revu to multiply. Ba, prepositional bet, obviously, and the hey is telling you third person feminine singular. It's going off of aretz, it's going off of land, which is feminine. Ba, right, within it. And that samech is telling you that in the scroll there is a satum, there is a closed space. So we've said this before. An open space in the scroll. When you look in the scroll, an open space goes all the way to the end of the line, and a closed space. So this is a closed space. This is a satum. Sorry. Did I say open? I may have said open. A patucha, a verse that is open, is goes until the very end. There's no new word that that you would see at the end of the line. Okay, so let's look at verse 7. And you, be ye fruitful and multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth, and multiply therein. Okay. So NIV, as for you, be fruitful and increase in number, multiply in the earth, and increase upon it. Okay. I don't understand that semicolon there. And King James also does that. To me, it seems pruvu shirtzu. Oh, I see. I see why that is. So you see the vav pruvu, right? The vav is there. Pruvu. Be fruitful and multiply. Shirtzu va'aretz uravu va. I see. I see why they would do that. Yeah. So that makes sense. Okay, let's see what how Chabad does it. And you be fruitful and multiply, and they also did the semicolon. Now I see that. Swarm upon the earth and multiply thereon, right? So Rashi says that this is being so Rashi is saying that, so in verse 1, when we said be fruitful and multiply, that was God God blessing them that they shall. And here, this is the actual commandment, which falls upon all humanity, is you have a commandment to be fruitful and multiply. Okay, let's look at verse 8. Vayomer Elokim el Noach ve'el banav ito le'emor. Okay. Conjunctive vav, the yud puts it in the imperfect. The root is aleph mem resh, and this is a sentence that in a very similar form you're going to see many times. Vayomer le'emor, right? And God said, saying. Right, and God spoke, saying, "Vayomer Elokim." So this is Shem Elokut. The root here is Aleph Mem Resh, obviously. So the saying with Amar as opposed to Diber, right? And God said, Elokim El. This is the preposition with the Aleph. Noach is his name. Ve'el. So conjunctive Vav El. Is again the preposition with the aleph, not the ayin. Banav, right? His sons. So ben means sons, banim means sons, and banav means his sons. Ito, right? So that's the direct object marker being used as a preposition. Ito, with him, right? That vav is the third person masculine singular. Le'emor, right? Saying. And their morphology, they're saying that lamed is actually a prepositional lamed, and emor is the infinitive, whereas I have learned that the infinitive is le'emor with the lamed being part of the conjugation. Okay, let's see what verse 8 looks like in the King James Version. And God spake unto Noah and to his sons with him, saying, yeah. NIV, then God said to Noah and to his sons with him, and they don't do the saying, they don't do that repetition, Chabad. And God said to Noah and to his sons with him, saying, okay, very similar translations. Okay. Va'ani hineni mekim et briti itchem ve'et zarachem acharechem. Aha, very important verse. So conjunctive vav, ani is the less formal way of saying I, the pronoun first person singular. Hineni, right? So we said hine is behold, right? It's the interjection. Hineni is in the first person singular. Here I am. Behold me. See that I am doing this. Mekim, right? And this is in the hifil, I would say, of kum, of the root would be qaf, quf, quf yud mem, quf vav mem, actually, I would probably say. We've had this before, but it's in the hifil. So the mem and the yud are in... So I'm actually interested. Let's see what the constructor does with the roots. So let's say that the root here is actually qaf vav mem, right? Laqum, right? And here we are in the hifil, right? And so let's see what, right? So in the hifil, right? So we said mekim, and that is precisely how the first person masculine singular, right, comes out in the present form for the root, because the middle radical of this word disappears or turns into a vowel in inflected forms. Okay, because it's a vav, right? So mekim, right? So I really like this website. Thank you, whoever made it. Let's see who made this. They have a Facebook and a Twitter, and God bless them. God bless them very much. They should have many blessings from this. Mekim et, right? Direct object marker. Briti. So brit is the covenant, right? Bet resh taf. And here it's written b'milui. It's written with a yud. Brit isn't always written with a yud, but oftentimes I would say it is. Briti, the yud at the end is putting it in the first person singular. My covenant, right? I am establishing or keeping, mekim et briti, itchem. So the direct object marker is being used as a preposition. The chaf mem is saying with all of you, second person masculine plural. Ve'et zarachem, so conjunctive vav and the et, the direct object marker here again, apparently being used as a preposition. Zarachem, so the root is zayin resh ayin, right? Is seed. They're translating as descendants. I would translate it as seed, your seed, right? Zarachem, acharechem. So achar meaning other, or acharei meaning after, right? Acharechem, after you, right? So let's see how that's translating King James, verse 9. And I, behold, I established my covenant with you and with your seed after you. Okay. NIV, I now establish, right? Hineni, they're translating as now, which is understandable. I now establish my covenant with you and with your descendants after you. Let's look at Chabad. And I, behold, I am setting up my covenant with you and with your seed after you. And here, you can look at the Rashis if you like. It's bringing a midrash of Tanchumim, midrash Tanchumim. You can look at there. Okay. Because it's a little strange. Va'ani hineni. Why does it need to say and I hineni? You could just say vehineni, and here I am, right? Right. Okay, you can read that there if you would like. Okay, let's look at verse 10. ואת כל נפש החיה אשר איתכם בעוף בבהמה ובכל חיית הארץ איתכם מכל יצי הטבע לכל חיית הארץ. Okay? So, conjunctive vav, et is the direct object marker being used as a preposition. Kol nefesh, every nefesh, they're translating as creature, soul, I would translate. Nefesh hachaya. So they're not saying nefesh hachaya is in the construct. I would say, it seems to me, at kol nefesh hachaya, that you could say nefesh. Okay, so the hey is obviously the article. You could say chaya is an adjective on nefesh because nefesh is in the feminine, right? Nefesh hachaya. Or you could say that nefesh and chaya are both nouns in a smichut, in a construct form together, right? So how you're going to translate that, it depends on whether you're saying nefesh hachaya is hachaya here is the adjective on nefesh, or if nefesh and chaya are two nouns and the chaya there is actually animals, right? What I translate as animals. Okay. Asher is the pronoun relative. Itchem, so the direct object marker being used as a preposition for the second person masculine plural, with you. Ba'of, so prepositional bet with the article. Of is bird, written ben milui with the vav there. Ba behema, so prepositional bet with the article behema being livestock or domesticated animals, behemoths, right? Uvachol, so conjunctive vav, prepositional bet without the article, chol meaning every, chayat haaretz. So chaya is beast, right? I translate as animal, and this is in the construct form. That's why the hey is turning into a taf. Chayat haaretz, beasts of the earth, right? So that's the article hey. Aretz is land. Chayat haaretz itchem. So prepositional. So the direct object marker is being used as a preposition again. Itchem, with you. Second person masculine plural. Mikol, prepositional mem. Kol meaning everything. Yotze hateva. Okay, so yot. The I would say the root here is tzaddik aleph hey, but like we said, right? So if you're going to put, so here let's do this. Let's look at this two different ways of looking at this verse, right? So let's say you're saying it's Yotze is tzaddik aleph and hey, right? To leave, tzaddik aleph hey, and where's the hey? There's the hey, right? And it's in the simple form. Right? So let's go ahead and translate and do that. Yotze, right, would be Yotze, right? The future third person masculine, right? Yotze, right? Maybe Yotze, right? Or let's say that you're actually saying that this is Yud Tzadik Aleph, right? And it's in the Pal Yotze, right? So Yotze, right, who leave, is in the present form, right? So, and actually, I think even, I mean, you could say that this is in the Hefil. You can play with this. There are many ways of understanding what the root could be, and that's why you get different ways of understanding. Maybe this is a different way of understanding. They say here it's in the call. They say it's in the simple form, and you can use this constructor to show you how the verb would look like in the various forms. Okay, and you can also see this because they have the dictionary, right? Places where this seems to show up in the dictionary, right? With that root, as we used that root, and what part of speech it is, right? I love this website. This is such a good website. Good job. Okay, Yotze, everything that goes out. Ha-teva, so with the article and teva, arc, we've had many times before. Lechol, prepositional lamed, chol meaning all of. Chayat haaretz, so this is in the construct form. Chaya meaning animal. I translated chayat haaretz, of the land, with the article. Let's look at the King James version, verse 10. And with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl, of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark to every beast of the earth. Okay, verse 10, NIV, and with every living creature that was with you, the birds, the livestock, and all the wild animals, all those that came out of the ark with you, every living creature on earth, right? Let's see, Chabad, verse 10. And with every living creature that is with you, among the fowl, among the cattle, and among all the beasts of the earth with you, of all those who came out of the ark, of all the living creatures of the earth. And Rashi has some interesting things to say there. Very interesting things. Okay, you can look there if you like. Okay, verse 11. Okay, V'hakimoti et briti itchem, velo yikaret kol basar od mimei hamabul, velo yihye od mabul leshahet haaretz. Okay? So, conjunctive vav, hakemoti is in the hefil, right? So this is the root we talked about, which I believe is qof vav mem, right? To establish, to hold up, right? Hakimoti, and it's in the hefil, and he feel perfect, and I have established. So thus I establish. Well, okay, so there, because it's in the It's in the Hakimoti because it's in the perfect. The Vav is kind of flipping it. I will establish the Hakimoti. The uh, the tough yud at the end is putting it in the first person singular, right? Et is the direct object marker. Briti, brit meaning covenant, right? Bet resh yud tough. Brit e mine, right? The yud at the end, and this is bemilui with both yuds there. My covenant, itchem. So the preposition is being used as the direct object marker is being used as a preposition with you. Velo, conjunctive vav, lo meaning not. Yikaret. So the root here is kaf resh tet. Tough. To cut, right? Yikaret, and this shows up a lot. Is in the nifal. So the yud is telling you that it's in the imperfect, but this is a verb nifal. This is a verb in the passive. Lo yikaret, it shall not be cut off. Kol, olive, in the construct with basar, flesh. Od, meaning again, it's an adverb, od, written bemilui with the vav, as it usually is. Mimei hamabul, right? So prepositional mem, mayim here is in the construct form, waters is in the construct form, that's why it's missing the second. Mimei hamabul, right? Of the flood, the hay is the article, mabul, flood we've had several times with the vav written completely. So waters of the flood. Velo, conjunctive vav, lo meaning no. Yihyeh, right? So the yud is telling you it's an imperfect of the verb to be. Od, again, we just had bemilui, mabul, right? Flood, again, bemilui. Leshachet. So the root here is shin het tough, to destroy. I think we've had that before. Yeah, we did. And right, leshachet. This is in the infinitive. Haaretz, and article noun. So leshachet haaretz, to destroy the land. Let's see how King James does verse 11. And I will establish my covenant with you, neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood, neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. Okay. I establish my covenant with you, never again will all life be destroyed by the waters of a flood. Never again will there be a flood to destroy the earth. Yep. Okay. Chabad, and I will establish my covenant with you, and never again will all flesh be cut off by the flood waters, and there will never again be a flood to destroy the earth. Right. And Hekimoti. Okay, so there are different versions of Rashi, so I'm not going to bother. Okay, so there are various versions of Rashi, just like there are various versions of everything. Okay, verse 12. Okay, Vayomer Elokim zot ot habrit asher ani noten beini uveinechem uvein kol nefesh chaya asher itchem ledorot olam. Ah, interesting. Okay. So, conjunctive vav, the yud tells you it's an imperfect. Amar is the root, is the verb to say. Aleph mem resh. Elokim is the name. Zot is written a little bit strangely here. This is the pronoun feminine singular. It's written bechisaron. Usually zot, I believe, does have a vav there. Zayin Aleph Taf here. Zot ot, right? This is, so the pronoun is being used as a noun here, which often happens. That's how I would do it. Ot, this may be the first time we've had ot. It is written bemilu, it's written completely, and ot is a sign. Otiot, you will find in many places, but so this is in construct form with habrit, right? Brit meaning covenant, with the article ot habrit. This is the sign of the covenant. Asher is the pronoun relative. Ani is I, written more informally as opposed to anochi. Noten is to give, right? We've talked about latet many times before. This is in the present participle, and usually it's written without the vav. It's written bechisaron as it is here. Noten, they're translating as give, as make. I usually translate. I mean, it's usually the word is to give or to set. We've had before, right? Beini uveinechem, right? So vein, we've talked about, is between. Beini, the yud at the end telling you that it's in the first person singular. Beini uveinechem, and it's written with the yuds, as is the second time a conjunctive vav. Beinechem, between all of you, right? Second person masculine plural, between me and all of you. Uvein, so conjunctive vav, again the preposition bein with between. Kol nefesh chaya, right? I would say this is one big construct. They're translating chaya here as an adjective going on nefesh, which is an understandable way of doing. So either living creature or it's creature and animal being used in a construct form, right? Kol nefesh chaya. That's how I would translate it, as opposed to the adjective. It seems to me it's probably in the construct. Asher, pronoun relative. Itchem, the direct object marker, is being used as a preposition, second person masculine plural. Ledorot, prepositional lamed. Dor, we've spoken before as a generation. Here it is written bechisaron. It's written without vavs both times. Dorot meaning generations, but here it's written incompletely. Olam, and olam meaning always or world or right, and here it's milui, it's written completely. They're translating it perpetual, right? Ledorot olam, to all the generations, or the generations of the earth. They're translating as perpetual. Let's look at the King James Version. Verse 12, and God said, this is the token, so they're translating ot as token, of the covenant, which I make between you and between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. Okay? NIV. And God said, this is the sign of the covenant I am making between me and you and with every living creature with you, a covenant for all generations to come. The Dorot Olam, right? So they're translating Dorot Olam, generations to come. Let's look at Chabad, verse 12. And God said, this is the sign of the covenant, which I am placing between me and between you. So they're translating Natati as Ani Noten, I am placing. And between every living soul that is with you for everlasting generations, right? And Rashi says on the Dorot, it is written defectively. It's written chaser, right? Like I just said, Dorot is usually written completely. This is written chaser, lacking, because there were generations that did not require the sign because they were completely righteous, such as the generation of Chizkiah, the king of Judah, and the generation of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, and that is from the Genesis Rabbah. Okay? So like I said, whenever things are written bechisaron, oftentimes, or sometimes because they are written bemilui, or they are written completely, we will have some form of drasha, some form of a expounding there by the rabbis. Okay, next verse 13. Okay, et kashti natati be'anan, sorry, v'haita leot brit beini uvein haaretz. Okay, so et is the direct object marker. Kashti, keshet, kof, shin, taf is an arc, right? Here it's obviously talking about the rainbow, but keshet also can refer to a bow, right? An actual bow, right? So archery, right? Keshet, kashti, and you can look at, let's see here. The concordance is, right, yeah, they're translate arch or bow or, yeah, shows up many times. How many times? 76 occurrences in the Bible. So, okay, at kashti, my bow, my rainbow here. But my bow, et kashti, and my bow, the yud obviously for meaning mine, first person singular. Natati, I have set, right? This is in the perfect of the kal, latet, to set, to give, natati. Be'anan, so prepositional bet, anan is a cloud. They're saying, okay, so Be'anan is in the cloud, and the reason why you can have that, it's Be'anan and not Ba'anan, is because the ayin is guttural. So that's why they're saying there's an article there, even though it's with a segol, not with a kamatz or a patach. Okay, that's why it's be'anan, and still it's considered with the article because the ayin is a guttural, and that changes the vowels around it, right? V'haita, so conjunctive vav, haita is so it's the perfect of the verb to be, but the vav will flip it, so, and it shall be, right? Le'ot, so prepositional lamed, ot, like we said before, is a sign, written completely. Brit is covenant, so ot, le'ot brit, right, in the construct form, a sign of the covenant, I wouldn't put the there. There's, I would say sign of covenant. Le'ot brit beini, so that's one construction, one smichut. Beini, between me, right? Beini uvein haaretz, and between the land, right? Say pretty simple. Verse 13. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth, right? Yeah. And I would probably just translate bow, not rainbow. But this is the NIV. I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. Okay? Chabad, verse 13. My rainbow, they also did rainbow, I have placed in the cloud, and it shall be for a sign of a covenant between myself and the earth. Okay? I like, I would just put bow, not rainbow. But that's me. V'haya be'aneni, anan al haaretz v'nir'ata hakeshet be'anan. Interesting. Okay, so this is the first time I've seen anan as a verb, right? Interesting. I don't know why I didn't notice this before. Oh, I totally disagree with how they're. No. Right. So they're saying this comes from the root ayin nun nun, which in other places is to practice witchcraft, to divine. There are other very interesting. Okay, I that's not how I would translate it. I would say that it seems to be using the root of cloud as a verb. Be'anani anan. When I make it be a cloud, right? So I'm going to disagree with the concordance here. But anani anan, right? When I make a cloud, right? When I make clouds, when I make clouds be clouds, actually, that's how it translated. Anan being a cloud, and the yud at the end is turning it into first person singular. The prepositional bet, there's no there, because that's a shva, we know there's no article. Down here, we'll see, because it's with a segol, not a shva, we'll say that there is an article, even though it's a bet, because it's a, like we said in the previous sentence, a guttural. Be'anani anan, al, preposition with the ayin, not aleph. Haaretz is the article hey and land. Venir'ata, so conjunctive vav, the root here is resh aleph hey, right? And this is in the nif'al. It is in the passive, right? And that nun is actually part of the conjugation, not part of the root. The root is resh aleph hey, to see, nir'ata. So it's in the feminine singular. Nir'ah would be in the masculine. Nir'ata is in the feminine, right? And it is seen, right? So here, I mean, in let's do resh aleph hey, right? And put it in the nif'al and look at near ata, right? Near ata, right there. Near ata, it's the third person feminine of the past tense of ra'ah in the nif'al, right? To see in the nif'al, so yeah, you can see how it comes out. Near ata, let's see, yeah, exactly with the same, exactly how I would have done it, right? Near ata, and it is seen in the feminine because keshet is in the feminine, right? Keshet, and shall be seen, the hakeshet, the rainbow, the bow, ba'anan, in the cloud. Again, the article is there because this is a guttural. We've discussed that before. Verse 14, King James, and it shall come to pass, and when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. Okay, NIV. Whenever I bring clouds over the earth, and the rainbow appears in the clouds. So that whenever they're getting, because of the repetition, right? We've had the repetition many times. It's usually translated as surely, but here it makes sense to be whenever. Let's see what Chabad does with this. And it shall come to pass when I cause clouds to come upon the earth, that the rainbow will appear in the cloud. And Rashi is going on be'anani anan, כשתעלה במחשבה לפני להביא חושך ועבדון לעולם. So he's actually, so he's translating, oh wow, I like that, this Rashi, he's saying, be'anani, when it comes to my mind, when I become clouded, right? When it becomes dark to him, Ba'anani. So, Ba'anani anan al haaretz. I did not realize this, and because I probably forgot it. I mean, I have gone through the Rashis here before, but my memory is not what it used to be. So, Ba'anani anan. Very interesting. Okay. Let's keep on going. Verse 15. V'zacharti et briti asher beini uveinechem uvein kol nefesh chaya bechol basar v'lo yihye od hamayim lamabul lashechet kol basar. Pretty simple verse, even though it's pretty long. So the root here is Zayin Chaf Reish, right? To remember. So the conjunctive vav is flipping it from the past perfect to the imperfect, to the future, right? V'zacharti, the taf yud at the end is in the first person singular. So it's I remembered, but the vav flips it, v'zacharti, and I will remember. Et is the direct object marker, briti, my covenant. These are words we've all had similarly. Asher, so the pronoun relative is being used as the verb is here. Beini uveinechem, between me and with the conjunctive vav, and with you, everything is written biloi, as we expect. Uvein, so conjunctive vav, between. Kol nefesh chaya, right? And again, similarly to every time we've had it, nefesh chaya, you can translate that as either the adjective living on nefesh, on soul, or nefesh chaya, meaning soul of animals. Kol nefesh chaya bechol, so prepositional bet without the article, chol meaning all, basar meaning flesh, velo, so conjunctive vav, lo meaning not, yihye imperfect of to be, od meaning again, written completely as usual, hamayim article, and mayim waters, lemabul, and the water shall not be as a flood, right? So prepositional lamed, mabul meaning flood, as normal. Leshachet, we've spoken about to destroy several times before. Kol meaning all, basar, all flesh. Let's look at King James 9:15. And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh, and the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. Okay? NIV, I will remember my covenant between me and you and all living creatures of every kind. Never again will the waters become a flood to destroy all life. Okay? and Chabad, and I will remember my covenant, which is between me and between you and between every living creature among all flesh, and the waters will no longer become a flood to destroy all flesh. Simple sentence, just a bit long. Verse 16. Okay. והייתה הקשת בענן, וראיתיה לזכור ברית עולם בין אלוהים ובין כל נפש חיה וכל בשר אשר על הארץ. Okay, this is interesting sentence. Let's והייתה. So conjunctive of הייתה is the first person singular feminine, right, of to be in the perfect. So the vav is flipping it around to shall be. Ha keshet, and it's in the feminine because keshet is feminine, because bow is, and the bow, right, with the article shall be. Be'anan, in the cloud with the article, so prepositional bet with the article, anan, meaning cloud. Uritiha. Okay, so conjunctive vav, the root here is resh aleph hey, and it's in the kal, it's in the simple form, although the yud there is slightly, I'm not sure re'iti, to see, I will see, right, I see, uriti, I see it, I look upon it, right, is, it's a little bit, I would say it's bemilui. It's written with strangely completely with that yud. Uritiha, and I will see her, it, right? Ri'iti is saw, and the vav is flipping it, I will see. Uritiha, and I will see her, it, right? The keshet, the bow. Lizkor, to remember, and this is again the root is zayin chaf resh in the infinitive, written bechisaron. It's written without the vav. Brit, meaning covenant. They're saying the covenant. There's no article here. Olam. Brit olam. So Brit olam is in the construct. Brit is covenant. Olam meaning perpetual or world. Brit olam, everlasting covenant. Bein Elokim, between Shem Elokut, right, God. Uvein, so conjunctive vav, preposition vein. Kol nefesh chaya. Again, similarly, we've discussed nefesh chaya several times. Bechol, prepositional bet, chol meaning all, basar, flesh, asher. The pronoun relative here is, I agree, is being used as a verb in the present tense. Al is the preposition with the ayin, haaretz, article, and land. Let's see the translations. These are pretty simple translations. And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. Okay? NIV. Whenever the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between God and all living creatures of every kind on the earth. Okay? Verse 16, Chabad, and the rainbow shall be in the cloud, and I will see it to remember the everlasting covenant between God and between every living creature among all flesh, which is on earth. Okay. And there is a Rashi there, which you can read if you like. I highly recommend studying the Rashis on every verse, but we're not going to do all of them. This is not a Rashi thing. Okay. Conjunctive vav. Vayomer Elokim el Noach zot ot habrit asher hakimoti beini uvein kol basar asher al haaretz. Okay? So, conjunctive vav, the yud is in the imperfect. Amar is to say. Elokim, right? God. Let me just make sure. Right. Yeah. Verse 17. Sorry. Just my mind wandering. Okay. Elokim is the word God. El. This is the preposition with the aleph, not the ayin. Noach is his name. Zot, and this is the pronoun feminine singular written without the vav, and it's being used as a verb. Zot ot habrit. I think we have the exact same construct here. Ot being sign in the construct with brit, with covenant, with the article, right? Asher, pronoun relative. Hakimoti, right? And we had Hakimoti before, but previously, I believe last time it was written be milui. This time, Hakimoti is being written bechisaron. No, it was also bechisaron last time. Right. So, verse 17, same verse, right? Okay. V'hakimoti, and I will establish. We had it exact same thing previously. Beini, between me, uvein, so conjunctive vav. Bein is preposition. Bet, between. Kol meaning all. Kol basar, all flesh. Asher is the pronoun relative being used as a verb. I would say al haaretz. Preposition al with the ayin, not with the aleph. Haaretz meaning the land, and there's a petucha. There is an open space in the scroll. King James, verse 17. And God said unto Noah, this is the token of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth. So they translate ot as a token. NIV. So God said to Noah, this is the sign of the covenant I have established between me and all life on the earth. Okay. I mean, very similar. Chabad. And God said to Noah, this is the sign of the covenant that I have set up between myself and between all flesh that is on the earth. Okay. Verse 18. Vayihyu v'nei Noach hayotzim min hateva Shem v'Cham v'Yafet v'Cham hu avi Chenan. Okay. Pretty simple. Conjunctive vav yihyu. It's in the plural. It's in the imperfect, but the vav flips it, so and were. Bnei Noach, the sons of Noah. Hayotzim. We spoke about yotzim before. Those who are leaving with the article, right? Who went out. Min hateva, so from preposition. And hateva, the ark with the article. Shem is his name. Conjunctive vav. Cham, right, is his name. We've discussed the names before. Conjunctive vav, va'yafet. Okay, vecham, and so this is actually a little bit strange that the sentence, I mean, it seems like it's been added. V'cham hu avi Hanan. And Cham, so the pronoun is being used as the verb in the present tense. I don't know why they translated this as was. I would say Cham is avi Hanan. So this is in the construct. This is this shows up a lot, right? Avi. Avi by itself usually means my father, but Avi can also be Av in the construct form, and that's what's going on here. He is the father of Hanan. He is the father of Canaan. Ham was the father of Canaan. Okay, 9:18, and in King James Version. And the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem and Ham and Japhet. And Ham is the father of Canaan. Yeah, I'm more with them. It's in the present tense. Let's see. NIV. The sons of Noah who came out of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japhet. So they put it in a parenthetical. Yeah, that sounds right to me. Ham was the father of the Canaan. I would say is, but okay. So, and the sons of Noah who came out of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japhet, and Ham was the father of Canaan. And Rashi brings an interesting midrash there to explain that slightly different, strange way of phrasing that sentence. Okay, verse 19. Shlosha ele v'nei Noach umele nafza hol haaretz. Okay. Shlosha is 3 in the masculine, right? And it's written bechisaron. It's written without a vav. It's lacking. Ele, these 3, right? Ele meaning these, right? And the pronoun in, Shlosha ele, these 3. Bnei Noach. So this pronoun is kind of being used as the verb, right? Like they say, right? So Shlosha ele bnei Noach. These are the 3 sons of Noah. Ume'ele nafza kol haaretz. So conjunctive vav, the prepositional mem, ele is these again. Ume'ele, and from these, nafza, right? So the root here is pe. So they're saying it's, okay. So they're saying this is in the kal, and it's the first, it's in the third person feminine singular. So, I mean, I'm gonna agree with them that the root here is hey pei tzaddik, but you could also say that this may be in the nifal. It is in the it's in the passive, right? Because you can interpret that nun to be in the passive, or you can say that this is a feminine verb, and use that constructor to see how you want to do. So the root is to. I mean, they're translating as to populate. It's a root meaning to spread out. Sunder, nafatz, right? To shatter. And you can look at your concordance there. Use your concordance. Use your tools because this is it is an interesting and unique. It's a way of saying it. But and this, I think, is actually a very important verse. Um, some people don't pay much attention to the histories in the Bible, and that's perfectly up to you if you want to do that. But people who are um, so there are videos and tapes. When I was a kid, actually, we used to watch it on TV. There's a there is a particular preacher who goes, who went, I believe he's passed now, uh, verse by verse, and he had some strange ideas about who some people were and things like that. And so this verse is telling us every single person who lives is a descendant of Noah. A descendant of Noah. Um, and so those people, there are people who say that there are there are descendants of Cain still living today, and it's among the racialists, right? They're the people who spend way too much time thinking about the color of a person's skin than they should, and races and that type of stuff, as opposed to thinking that about our Father who created us. And this verse kind of answers them all, right? We are all descendants of Noah. Okay, verse 19. From King James, these are the three sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread. Okay. NIV, these were the three sons of Noah, and from them came the people who were scattered over the whole earth. Okay. Chabad, these three were the sons of Noah, and from these the entire earth spread out. Okay. Verse 20. Vayachel Noach ish ha'adama vayita karim. Okay, so this is, they say he feel, I agree with that, of to begin, right? And we've had this before. So conjunctive of, and the root here, there's a chet, there's a lamed, and what the third root is and where it falls, you might have to use your constructor and try to understand by yourself. But yeah, it's I would say it's hey chet lamed. So and began vayachel Noach ish ha'adama, and Noah started or began, ish meaning man, ha'adama, so this is in construct. He was a man of the soil, right? So, all right. I am actually, I mean, I would read of it was in here as being implied. Ish ha'adama, and Noah started to be a man of the earth, of the soil. Vayita, so conjunctive vav, so, and yita, the root is, I would say, probably nun taf ayin, nun tet ayin, I'm sorry. They're saying it's in the kal imperfect, which is being flipped by the vav at the beginning. To plant a vineyard, right? This is a construction you find several times in the Bible. Just, I mean, look up Kerem, Chaf Resh Mem in your concordance, and you'll see versions of this verb to plant near it usually. And you can do that. Okay. And he planted a vineyard. Let's see what King James says, verse 20. And Noah began to be an husbandman, and he planted a vineyard. So they're translating Ish Ha'adama as a husbandman, right? Somebody, a keeper of the land, right? That's a interesting translation. NIV, Noah, a man of the soil, proceeded to plant a vineyard. Let's look at that note here. Or soil was the first. Okay. Oh, Noah, a man of the soil, was the first to plant a vineyard. Aha, so they're translating Vayachal Noach ish ha'adama vayitahar karem. So, and I see. So Noah was the first to be a man of the earth, in that he, I can understand that translation. It's a little bit different. Chabad, and Noah began to be a master of the soil, and he planted a vineyard. Let's look at the Rashis here, right? This can be understood. He made himself profane. Aha. So he's saying no. This isn't hey chet lamed, right? The root hey chet lamed, which is to begin, saying this may be the root chet lamed hey, what, right? To profane, not as something bad, but as something common, as opposed to sanctifying, right? For he should have first engaged in planting something different. Because he should, so Yitak Karem, vineyard, aha, so as opposed to sanctifying himself, the first thing he thought of was, why don't I make myself some wine? I see. And of course, we know how that happened. Ish ha'adama, Rashi is saying it's like when we say Ish Naomi in Ruth 1:3, meaning husband, right? And you can look there. And he planted a vineyard. When he entered the ark, he brought with him vine branches and shoots of fig trees. Right? Okay. Yeah, that's the Rashi's there. And okay. Sad goings on here. Vayesht min hayayin vayishkar vayitgal betoch ohalo. Okay. Conjunctive vav, yesht. So the root here is shin taf hey, to drink. It's in the imperfect. But the vav is flipping it. So and he drank. Min hayayin, so of the preposition hayayin, the wine. Article hey, yain is a word that shows up many times. It's wine. This may be the first time we've had wine. Vayishkor, so conjunctive vav. The root here is shin chaf resh, which shows up to be drunk. It's a root that shows up several times. You can look at your conjunction, concordance. The yud puts it in the imperfect, but the vav flips it so that it becomes a completed action. And he became drunk. Vayitgal, again, conjunctive vav. And so this is okay. So the root here is gimel lamed, right? And that's to roll. Yitgalgal, galgal, or gilgulim, right? Is yitpalpel is a common. So this is the. It is. It may be in a in one of those. We discussed the uncommon constructions, right? Stem, um, hitpal, right? Let's see. Do they have a hitpalel? Oh, mm, uh, no. So this may be a rare stem. Um, oh, sorry. Yitkal. So yeah, okay. I'm gonna Yitkal betoch. So if you say that this is the root is Gimel Lamed Yud to Gilui is to uncover. And if this is in the Hitpa'el of Gilui, it would be and he became uncovered, right? Yeah, because the Yud is putting it in the imperfect, but the Vav flips it, right? And the Hey absconds because Heys do that. And he became uncovered, right? He became uncovered. He uncovered himself. Betoch ohalo. So prepositional bet. Toch meaning within or in the midst of or at the center. Ohalo. So ohel is a chant. This ohel is written by Hisaron ohalo. His tent. It's written a little bit strangely. His tent. Ohalo. I'm guessing there's a Rashi on here. It's a little bit strange how Ohel is written. Ohalo, his yeah, it's written strangely. But we'll see how Rashi comments on that. I'm guessing there's a Rashi on that. We'll see. Verse 21. And he drank of the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. Yeah. 21. When he drank some of its wine, he became drunk and lay uncovered inside his tent. Okay. Let's see what Rashi says. And he drank of the wine and became drunk, and he uncovered himself within his tent. Yeah, that's how I would translate it. Ohalo. See, okay, so Rashi's explaining why Ohalo is written strangely, right? It is written Ohalo with a hey and not with a vav. This alludes to the 10 tribes who were referred to by the name of Samaria, which was called Ohala. This is from Ezra 23:4, who were exiled on account of wine, as it is written in Amos 6:6. Okay? So you can go ahead and look, right? Yeah. And you can go ahead and look at Ezekiel 23 and Amos 6 to see what exactly he's talking there. It's a reference to this place Ohala, right, which is written in that manner. Interesting. Okay. So these are the types of things you would never get in the English because you can't, they don't translate. Okay, verse 22. Vayarcham avi Hanan et ervat aviv vayaged lishnei achav bachutz. Okay, so conjunctive vav, the simple form here, simple meaning here is that this is the root here is resh aleph hey to see, right? And it's in the imperfect. The vav switches it to the perfect, to the completed. So and saw, right? The hey at the end absconding. Cham, Avi Hanan, the father of Hanan, we discussed that recently. Et, the direct object marker. Ervat, right? So we had erva before, but here it is in the construct. That's why the hey turns into a tav. Ervat aviv, the nakedness of his father, right? Erva is nakedness, and aviv is his father. Vayaged, so conjunctive vav, again, the root, they're saying it's in a hefil, which I will agree with, of I would say the root is hey gimel dalid, to tell, right? Vayaged lishne, so prepositional lamed, shne is the construct form of the number 2, right? Shnaim is the masculine of 2. Shnei Echav, his 2 brothers, right? His brothers. Echav. Bachutz. Prepositional bet with the article. Chutz means outside, right? But bachutz, outside. We had mibaytu, but mibachutz, michutz, when we talked about the ark before, from inside and outside, right? So this is outside. Let's see what how King James does verse 22. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his 2 brethren without. Outside, yeah. Let's see. NIV. Ham, the father of Canaan, saw his father naked, right? So they're translating. I would actually stick with nakedness of his father, the way King James has it. But and told his 2 brothers outside. Okay. King Chabad, and Ham, the father of Canaan, saw his father's nakedness, and he told his 2 brothers outside. And there are Rashis here, which are you may want to look there. Okay. There are various interpretations of what happened there. Okay? Let's see. Verse 23. Vayikach Shem vayefet et hashimla vayasimu al Shechem shnehem vayalchu achoranit. Interesting way of putting it. Achoranit. Vayachasu et ervat avihem ufnehem achoranit ve'ervat avihem lo ra'u. Okay, so these were bashful people. Okay, so conjunctive vav, yud. We've spoken about the verb kach many times before, to take. and how it may be in different forms. So however you want to translate that, they took. Shem Yafet, so the name of the two of them, with the conjunctive vav there. Et is the direct object marker. Hasimla. So hey it's the article. Asimla, sim, sin, mem, lamed is a garment. It shows up other times. You can look at the concordance. The garment. I'm actually wondering why it's the garment as opposed to a garment, but it's the garment. Vayasimu, so conjunctive vav. The root here, I would say, is sin vav mem, and it's the yud tells you it's in the imperfect, but because there's a vav, it's flipping it, and they into the perfected, into the complete, right? And laid it or put it vayasimu, and actually it doesn't, the it isn't there. They put upon al Shechem. So this is a preposition with the ayin. Shechem is a shoulder. We've had that word. Well, that word is in Svania 3:9, which I keep on bringing up. Shnehem, the two of them. So Shnayim, like we said, is the masculine of two. Shnehem is the two of them. Vayelchu. So conjunctive vav. The root here, I would say, is lamed chaf hey, to go. And the yud puts it in the imperfect. The vav is the third person masculine plural. And it's getting flipped by the vav to excuse me, to the perfected, to the past tense. Achoranit. So this is a strange way of saying. So achar means behind. Acharon means last. Acharan means towards the back. Achoranit makes it into an adverb, into a, back ways, right? Yeah, that's how I would translate it. Achoranit. Interesting. Vayichasu. So the conjunctive vav, the yud is putting it in the imperfect. The root, I would say, is chaf sin hey, right? To cover. Vayichasu, and they covered. The hey absconded, and the vav is puts it into the masculine plural, third person masculine plural. Et is the direct object marker. Ervat avihem, again, nakedness of their father in the construct form, like we said. Ufnehem, so conjunctive vav. Panim is faces, right? Ufne, right? Fnehem is their faces. Third person masculine plural, their faces. Achoranit, and their faces, or how they were turned, right? I think I've mentioned pnei can also be to turn. Achoranit, and their face, and they were facing backwards, right? Ve'ervat avihem lo ra'u, right? So conjunctive vav, ervat avihem in the construct as we just had. Lo meaning not. Ra'u is the call perfect of to see. And the hey absconds, of course, as it often does. So, and yeah. So, verse 23 in the King James. And Shem and Yafet took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father, and their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. Okay, verse 23. But Shem, so they're translating the conjunctive vav as a but. Shem and Yafet took a garment and laid it across their shoulders, Then they walked in backward and covered their father's naked body. I would say nakedness. The word body isn't in there, definitely. Their faces were turned the other way so that they would not see their father naked. Much more figurative translation, but I actually like that. Chabad and Shem and Yafet took the garment and they placed it on both their shoulders, and they walked backwards, and they covered their father's nakedness, and their faces were turned backwards, so that they did not see their father's nakedness. Right? Oh, oh, okay. So interesting. Okay. Um, I didn't even think about it. Vayikach Shem Vayafet. So this is in the third person masculine singular. It's in the singular. So and Shem took Vayafet. So the two of them, but it's in the singular. So that's what the Rashi is going on. Rashi is saying, but this is a Hebrew Vayikach. It does not say Vayichu. It doesn't say and they took in the plural form, but Vayikach, the singular form. This teaches us about Shem, that he exerted himself to fulfill the commandment more than Yafet. Right? So it's in the singular to teach that Shem was more what you call it? Was more zaris, we say in Hebrew, was more quick to do the mitzvah. Right? Therefore, his sons merited a talit with fringes, and Yafet merited burial for his sons, as it is said, Ezekiel 39:11. I will give Gog a place there as a grave in Israel. But Ham, who disgraced his father, as is stated in his seed, so shall the king of Assyria lead the captivity of Egypt and the exile of Cush, youth and old men, naked and barefoot, right? Arum v'yachaf, with bare buttocks, etc. And you can look these up if you want. Acharonit, right? So why is it saying ufneema? Why is it saying it twice? Why does it say this? Teaches that when they drew near to him and they had to turn around to cover him, they turned their faces backwards anyway, right? So they were very careful. Even though when they had to turn to cover him, they had to turn towards him, their faces were still the other way. Okay. Verse 24. Vayiketz Noach miyeno veyeda et asher asa lo beno hakaton. Okay. So conjunctive vav, the root here is actually, I would say, hey kof tzadi, right? They're saying awoke. We've had this root before. We've had this verb before. It means to end, and usually, and it's used to end from wine, right? When it's used with the word wine, it means to sober up, right? So vayiketz Noach miyeno. So his wine ended. Actually, is the more correct way of saying it. But this is a kind of construction of the two words miyeno. This is in the imperfect, but the vav flips it. So and he and ended his wine, right? Noah ended from his wine. Prepositional mem, yain, obviously meaning wine. The vav at the end is third person masculine singular. Vayeda. So conjunctive vav. I would say the root here is daled ayin hey, they say slightly differently. No, actually, apparently they're agreeing with me because they're saying it's in the imperfect. Vayeda, and he knew. Um, yeah, it becomes it's in the imperfect and it gets flipped by the vav. And he knew et is the direct object marker, asher pronoun relative, that what, asa, call perfect, very simple of the verb to make, to do, ayin sin he, lo to him, right? The prepositional lamed with the vav making it third person masculine singular. Beno, his son, right? Ben meaning son. Beno is his son. Hakaton, right? Hakatan. Okay. Article and katan, kof tet nun we've had, I believe, before, means small. So this is what his small son had done. Okay. King James Version, verse 24. And Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done unto him. Okay. NIV. When Noah awoke from his wine and found out what his son had done to him. So they're saying when, right? Okay. And Noah awoke from his wine, and he knew that his small son, what his small son had done to him. And Rashi translates that small to mean he wasn't a good guy, right? Just like in Jeremiah 49:15, to be small means to be despised, right? Okay. From Jeremiah. Okay, verse 25. Vayomer Arur Kenan Eved Avadim Yihyeh Le'achav. Okay, so conjunctive Vav, Yud meaning the imperfect of Amar. We've had this verb many times, to say, right? Arur is cursed, right? The root is aleph resh resh. The vav written bemilui as it usually is. It's written completely, turns it into the passive participle. Okay, Kenan, that's his name. Eved, right? So the root is ayin bet dalet. And that means to serve or to work or slave, right? Eved avadim. So this is it's in the construct form. It's a repetition. Eved avadim, right? We call God King of Kings, Melach Melachim, right? Eved avadim, the servant of servants, right? Eved avadim yihyeh, he shall be, right? It's an imperfect of to be. Le'echav, to his brothers. Let's look at verse 9:25. And he said, cursed be Kenan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brother. Yeah, okay, verse 25 in the NIV. When Noah awoke from his wine, verse 25, he said, cursed be Kenan, the lowest of slaves. So they're saying Eved Avadim, right? This lowest of slaves. They're translating that repetition as a emphasis. Will he be to his brothers? Okay. Chabad, and he said, cursed be Canaan, he shall be a slave among slaves to his brothers, right? And let's see what Rashi is saying here. You've caused me to do that. Yeah, that's an agadic midrash. You can try to understand if you like. It's a long Rashi and it's agadic. meaning that it's talking about things. Okay, okay. Verse 26, and the agadita are allegories and metaphors that the rabbis tell to describe things. So, okay. Vayomer Baruch Havaya Elokei Shem Veyehi Chanan Eved Lamo. Interesting. Okay, so let's Vayomer. We've had many times conjunctive vav, imperfect, gets flipped of amar of to say. Baruch, blessed, right? The root is bet resh chaf, and that vav. See, it's this time it's written bemilui. It's written completely. Actually, arur was also written completely, wasn't it? Baruch and arur. Yeah, arur was also written. Yeah. Okay. Baruch Havaya, right? So this is the Shem Havaya, the Tetragrammaton. Elokei Shem, right? So this is Elokim, Shem Elokim, God, but it's written besmichut. It's written in a construct form with Shem, which is interesting, right? Why Yafet wasn't included? I guess because if you remember, we said Vayikach was written singularly, right? And Rashi said that that's because Shem was more Zariz, was more quick to fulfill the commandment. Elokei Shem. And this is the first time we've had Havaya in this whole, we've had the Tetragrammaton in this whole chapter. Havaya Elokei Shem, the God of, the Lord, the God of Shem. Vayehi Chanan Eved Lamo. So conjunctive vav. Yehi is the imperfect jussive. They're saying. Yes, yeah. Vayehi and became. Hanan is his name. Eved, servant, like we spoke before. Lamo is a strange way of saying to him. The prepositional lamed, mem, as opposed to lo, which is what I would expect onto him to be. This is lamo. I'm guessing Rashi is going to try to explain that. I don't know if lamo is shows up many times. It's a form of it, shows up 6 times in the Bible. Apparently, mostly in Job, but it's gonna show up in verse 27 as well. Okay, let's look at verse 26 in the King James. And he said, "Blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant." Okay. NIV, he also said, Vayomer, I guess, yeah, also said. And he also said, praise. So they're saying blessed is, Baruch is praise. Be to the Lord. I don't like that. I think blessed, it makes more sense. The God of Shem. May Canaan be the slave of Shem. Okay? Let's look at Chabad. And he said, "Blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and may Canaan be a slave to him." Let's see what Rashi is saying. Blessed be the Lord God of Shem. עתיד לשמור הבטחתנו לתת להם את ארץ כנען. So yeah, he's saying that this is this is the blessing why ultimately the children of Shem are going to get the land of Canaan, right? Veyehi Hanan lamasa obed. So he's saying it is not literal slavery. It is he has to pay a vassal who pays tribute. Okay. Verse 27. Yaft Elokim leyefet veyishkon be'ohalo Shem veyehi Hanan eved lamo. Okay. This is a interesting verb. I don't think it shows up that many times. Let's 28 times. Okay. Yeah, they're saying the root is tough hay, which is what I would have said. Yeah, but yaft, right? To enlarge. It's in the jussive. It's in the command form again. Yaft Elokim. So God, and so you see this enlargement. It's actually it is reflecting his name, right? His name Yefet, right? So God enlarged. They're translating to be spacious, and you can use to be abundant. You can use your concordance here, but it's like similar to his name, right? You see that? Leyefet to Yefet, so prepositional lamed. Vayishkon, conjunctive vav. The root here is shin chaf nun, to dwell, and it's in the imperfect but gets flipped. Well, maybe, yeah, maybe flipped, maybe not. Vayishkon, and he shall dwell, or he may dwell. Yeah, I'm fine with may dwell. Be'ohale Shem. So prepositional bet. Ohel is here in the masculine plural construct. Ohalim would be tents, but this is Ohale Shem, the tents of Shem, right? It's in a construct with Shem. Veyehi Hanan Eved Lamo, and Canaan is going to be. This is the exact same as the previous we had, same construction, right? Let's look at verse 27. God shall enlarge Yafet, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. Okay, verse 27. In the NIV, may God extend Yafet's territory, and yeah, they put in the notes, Yafet sounds like the Hebrew for extend, right? Territory, may Yafet live in the tents of Shem, and may Canaan be the slave of Yafet, right? So actually, I'm not sure that Lamo is clearly going towards Yafet. It may be going towards Canaan. So I don't like how they inferred that at all. That's I would not do that. I would stick with the King James with his servant. Let's see what Chabad. May God expand Yafet, and may he dwell in the tents of Shem, and may Canaan be a slave to them. So Lamo, they're translating to them. Let's see what um, Rashi says. So the Yafet translated by Targum. That's Targum Onkelos. When we just say Targum, when we just say the translation, we mean Targum Onkelos. And he's was translated it to Yarchiv, to expand. And you can also see Onkelos on Deuteronomy 12:20 and 19:8. Okay? Or may he cause the presence to rest on Israel. Da, da, da. Okay, so that's another agada you can look at. V'yichanan eved lamo afa meshiglu will be stolen. Okay, these are all agadic. I'm not sure why they said to them, but okay. I would translate to him because Lamo, well, maybe because Lamo is a little bit strange, but yeah, it is what it is. Verse 28. Vayechi Noach achar hamabul 300 shana v'chamishim shana. Okay. Conjunctive vav yechi, to live, right? It's in the imperfect. It's getting flipped to the perfect, completed and lived, right? The root, I would say, is chet yud hey, to live. And Noach is his name, obviously. Achar means after. Ha mabul, the article, and mabul, written flood completely as usual. Shlosh is written bechisaron, without the vavs, but oftentimes isn't. It means three. Shlosh me'ot, 300, right? Mea is 100. Me'ot is hundreds. So shlosh me'ot, 300s. Shana is year. V'chamishim, so conjunctive vav, and chamesh means 5, chamishim means 50. Shana, again, year. Simple sentence, verse 28. And Noah lived after the flood 350 years. Yep. And NIV, after the flood, Noah lived 350 years. Yeah. Okay. Chabad, and Noah lived after the flood 350 years. Very similar, pretty simple. Okay, and I believe this is the last verse in this chapter. Vayihyu kol yemei Noach tesha me'ot shana v'chamishim shana va'yamot. Okay, so conjunctive vav yihyu we've had many times, and were, right? This is the verb to be. Kol meaning all. Yemei is days in the smichut, in the construct form, right? All the days of Noach, right? Me'ot, tesha me'ot, cha me'ot, right? Tesha me'ot. 9 and me'ot meaning hundreds, right? Tesha me'ot shana, 900 years. V'chamishim shana, and 50 years. So it's not 950 years. It's actually 900 years and 50 years. I'm guessing Rashi is going to have to say something about that. Va'yamot. So conjunctive of yamot, it means, it's in the imperfect, but it gets flipped, and he died. And yamot is written without a vav. It's written bechisaron, written lacking. And there's a petucha. There is an open space in the scroll. That's what that pay there is telling you. Okay. King James, and all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. Okay. NIV, Noah lived a total of 950 years, and then he died. Okay. And Chabad, and all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. I guess they didn't say anything about it either. I'll be honest with you. I would probably translate it, and all the days of Noah were 900 years and 50 years, and he died. Because it does mention years twice, which makes me think. I usually translate things more literally. But hopefully, this has been an opportunity for you to get to know the Word of God better. I hope um, these new websites we looked at will be useful to you, and hopefully we will be able to fulfill what it says in Zephaniah 3:9. Or was it 9:3? I'm sorry, it's getting late here. Um, that we should all um, turn over a new and clear language so that we should all be able to call in the name of God in one accord with one shoulder. Similarly, I guess, to how um, Shem and Japhet worked together and were blessed for it. Yeah, I wish you the best. Shalom.